Morning, morning, morning. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the bottom line. Guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in this morning. This is going to be a bright and righteous day. I hope you have a righteous week and continue to move forward in anything and everything. And your future is now, not later. All right? I just put that out there. Hey, look, guys, look. A little gamer news for you gamers out there. There's a new handheld in town, a new handheld. And I don't know if it's going to be a direct competitor to the Nintendo Switch or the Steam Deck, but guess what? So far, when I looked at this thing, it looks pretty good. It looks dangerously awesome, And it's called the Razer Edge. Excuse me. So the Razer Edge. Now, this particular little handheld looks powerful, but we're gonna go into the specs. We're gonna get into it, and it's gonna be on sale real soon. And we're going to read some dynamics of it. We're going to get into it, the guts of it, and we're going to just look at this thing, and we're going to see if this is another competitor to the handheld market, or is it another, just something to get a cash grab. Pretty much people say all the time. It's a quick cash grab. So let's check this thing out. The Razer Edge is so powerful looking, the ultimate thing. This thing is slick. It looks like Nintendo Switch. Everybody comes out with their own design of this thing, and the Nintendo Switch started something with the handheld market, and everything that wants to compete with Nintendo Switch copies the design sometimes. But so far so good. The Razer Edge will go on sale in the U.S. on January 26th in partnership with Verizon, of all people. Note that there is also a Wi-Fi only version if you are not a fan of Verizon or don't plan on gaming while out and about. The Razer Edge Wi-Fi will sell for $400. $400. The Founders Edition, which includes a Razer Hammerhead True Wireless 2021 earbuds and costs $500. So that version costs $500. You can reserve a Wi-Fi model today from Razer.com. Okay. Alternatively, there is the Verizon version. So Verizon will have a sell, plan with this little handheld game, which is not a bad idea. Nintendo need to think about that as well. Okay, the retail price is $600 for the Verizon version, but you can get it for $360. $10 a month for 36 months for a limited time with a new contract. So you got to buy a phone plan and get a phone. You get it for $360. $10 a month for 36 months for a limited time with a new contract. Another option is buying a new 5G smartphone alongside the Razer Edge 5G, which will drop its price to $180 for $5 a month for 36 months. Now that's crazy. Now the Razer Edge comes with a Kishi V2 Pro controller. It is detachable, just like Nintendo Switch. So this is sort of a phone, although, basically it's a phone. Okay, I get it. Although we're not 100% sure whether this can make phone calls. That thing can make phone calls and play games. Basically, it's an Android. So anyway, the Razer Edge is powered by the Snapdragon G3X Gen 1, which seems to be based on the Snapdragon 888. This console has active cooling, so it will be able to sustain higher performance levels than a phone. Okay. The chipset is paired with 8 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM and 128 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage, expandable with micro SD cards up to 2 terabytes. So that's a lot of memory. What gives this thing away, the Edge, away over the likes of the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch, here come the comparisons, is the 6.8 OLED display. It has 2,400 times 1,800 px resolution, 20 and by 9, and 144 hertz refresh rate. So it has a 2400 times 1800 px resolution. Okay, so the 140 hertz refresh rate. For the comparison, the Switch OLED has a 7-inch screen display, which we all know that. So the Steam Deck has a 7 LCD, but both have only 220p resolution and run at only 60 hertz. Okay, so it's a little bit faster. The Razer Edge a little bit faster and a little bit powerful and more resolution than those two handhelds, Steam Deck and the Switch. There is no word on touch sampling right. However, okay, it said however, all versions of the Razer Edge have Wi-Fi GE connectivity. So that's good. You can use this to stream games from your PC or your console. I like that. As well as using game streaming services. Of course, the chipset is powerful enough to handle native Android gaming and emulation too. So emulation is popular for a lot of people. Okay, the version Verizon's offering has 5G, both sub-G hertz, 6 hertz, and MM wave, both the 6 hertz, GHz, and Wi-Fi, and the 5G offer low latency connections for minimal lag. So that's pretty good for this little handheld. There is Bluetooth 5.2 on board, and the controller has a 3.5mm head port jack. If you don't want to use headphones, there are two-way speakers with THX auto plus 2 microphones for voice chat. There's also a single 5MP front facing camera that's 180p and 60 frames per second video. So that's pretty cool. There is a 5000 mAh battery inside. That's for cell phones, standard cell phones, but there is no word on charging speed. The device itself weighs 264 Gs, which goes up to 541 Gs. Okay, once you attach the controller, okay, so it tells the weight and everything. This is a sniffy little video on YouTube as you're watching right now. This is a video. It's showing the specs. It's showing everything about the little system. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The Razer Edge. So everything wants to compete with the handheld market right now. So pretty much, for you gamers out there, there's a new beast in town. Now it comes out January 26th. That is in a few weeks from now. So 2 weeks from now. So the thing is, guys, if you want another competitor, another handheld, and you want it to be, connected with Verizon 5G or Wi-Fi, or if you want it to be simple and just straightforward, and that's what you want to play. So guess what? You got your handheld right here. I think it looks pretty cool. If you look at the specs of the thing, what we just put out there, the Razer Edge, the name itself, want to have a competitive edge. The Razer Edge is saying it's cutting through everything. It's going to cut through the competition. So the name speaks for itself. So, I'm a gamer. So I'm a gamer at heart. I don't play as I used to, but I do play games. So video games, that is. So the thing is, looking at this, is everything wants to copy, Nintendo in design, and they say Nintendo's design is flawed, that the Joy-Con drift makes the whole machine, the whole little handheld obsolete to certain things. And then the power of the Nintendo Switch, it says it's behind the time. It says Nintendo's always behind the time. Nintendo, it cannot compete with the next gen consoles and handhelds that come out, and that have came out and came against pretty much direct competition towards it. So I'm like this as a gamer. See, I'm a Nintendo Switch fan. I have a Nintendo Switch. My daughters have Nintendo Switches, and I appreciate Nintendo. Nintendo changed things for their whole game plan for gaming. Nintendo Switch is a game changer, and when it came out almost 6 years ago, I didn't get it when it first came out, but I get it like later on that year, not when it first launched. Because you never get game systems when it first launched. Because little secret for you gamers out there, when you get your system when it first launched, you're like beta testers still. You're getting the glitch and bugs versions of the machines the consoles that you buy. So that's a little secret, trade secret I've been knowing for since I was 5. Don't buy it straight out day one or pre-order day one. You get it about 3 months to 6 months later. Because the ones that bought it first day, you are pretty much still beta testers. So your console, your machine, handheld, whatever it may be, you still have bugs. These are the ones that have still testing, grounds too. So when you buy these consoles right off the gate, you're pretty much testing out the bugs still. So if you have errors on your machine X out, your machine give you error messages every time you play or plug in a game or insert a controller or something like that, then you have the early models of the machine, of the console. That's why you wait almost 6 months to 8 months to almost close to a year to get the console. So you will have the new firmware updated versions of the consoles. So when you buy your version, when you get your version, get your ones you bought, guess what? You're not going to have as much bugs or much errors in the machine as the ones that bought it first day or first week or first month or the first 3 months. That makes sense? That's why I always wait 6 to 8 months. I wait 8 to 6 months to a year. If I want a new, let's say Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. If I want it, I don't get it when it first launches. I don't do that. I wait till almost to a year, and then I get it. And then I'm mine is pretty much bug proof. Not saying it won't have any flaws or errors. It won't be like the people the consumers that when they first buy the machine or their product, they won't have that many bugs in. Because people that buy early, guess what? You're playing, and then you're gonna report back to the company, hey, this is happening to my like for instance, when PlayStation 5 first came out, that a lot of people had a lot of issues with that machine. That console had a lot of bugs, a lot of errors in that thing. So, you're pretty much still beta testers, regardless. They say that it's already, machine went gold, and now it's a production phase, a manufacturing phase. Now it's shipping out to the Walmarts and the Targets and all of these manufacturers, retailers and distributors. Now they got it early, first day. You got people lining up for Black Fridays and stuff and buying these things. And guess what? You still have a beta testing machine. So you still a beta tester when you buy the machine. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's why little tip, industry tip. So the Razer Edge, back on the Razer Edge. Me personally, I'm not in the market of buying anything new right now. I got a Nintendo Switch. I'm waiting for the next Nintendo iteration of their console. It purports that the Nintendo Pro was actually real. Now they get scrapped from Digital Foundry, when they spoke about it many weeks ago. I know it's old news, but it ain't old to me. The thing is, because I'm a gamer, and you have to be game entertained. So you have to know your gaming news. So Digital Foundry says that there was evidence of Nintendo Switch Pro. So all these rumors and talk about a Nintendo Switch Pro now, it was scrapped. Now they're going for the new iteration or the new next gen Nintendo Switch, which should be awesome. And I hope that they make it backwards compatible. Now you're like, hold up, this is not Nintendo Switch segment. It's the Razer Edge segment. You're right. Reason why I am talking about Nintendo, because I see all the competition that's trying to copy Nintendo. And that's why I picked the Razer Edge, because it looks great. Don't get me wrong. It looks like a Steam Deck, a modified version of Steam Deck. Steam Deck and Razer Edge is almost similar in design. They want to make it bulkier, controllers bulkier, but it looks like a phone in between. But the thing is, Nintendo Switch, had, not saying it's perfect the design of Nintendo Switch, but I say that the way Nintendo Switch is really built, everyone wants to copy the design and make it better. They think they can make their version of their little handheld or competition to Nintendo Switch better than the Nintendo Switch itself. So I said, okay. So I'm looking at the Razer Edge. I'm looking at the specs. It looks powerful. It sounds powerful. The video shows you that, it gives you a good sense of what the Razer Edge is about. I like, the presentation. Everything has to come out and trying to be like Nintendo. Nintendo is revolutionary in their ideas and products and what they do in their patents. When they come up with patents, they spend years and time coming out with new things to revolutionize the video game industry. And since every time they do, the competition, if you want to call them competition, the competition always got to copy their design, got to copy something from Nintendo. Nintendo pretty much helped every other game system to be put away, besides the Sega Genesis. Nintendo helped the Xbox, they helped PlayStation, and you talking about Xbox, how they helped the Xbox, because Xbox, if it wasn't for Nintendo to save the video game industry back in the 80s, we won't have these new iterations of consoles. We won't have the new iterations of, these video game consoles out here. So that's the reason why. So Nintendo has did the great things to make sure that, they are still top of the food chain, video game food chain. The video game console, it's not, they don't call it console wars no more. It's just, hey, you got this console, you got this console. The market is open for everyone. Now they had to come up with a law. I think the Supreme Court dropped the law that they separate the next gen consoles from, Nintendo. That's somewhere I read an article that, they consider the next gen, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, the next gen, and they don't include Nintendo Switch in that category with them. And I laughed at that. I'm like, wow, really? So they separating, the consoles now, so for the consumers can know which one's is next gen. If they go buy or look the thing up in bylaw or whatever, that PlayStation 5 or the next gen Xbox, okay, this is next gen, but the Nintendo Switch is not considered next gen. So they separating the three. Two is one category and one's in one. So I think Nintendo loves those odds, because when Nintendo when Nintendo sees competition like this, handhelds like this, Steam Deck came out, PC now got a, oh my God, we have a handheld. We got something for us. Yay. And all of a sudden, it's called Steam Deck. I get it's picking up Steam Deck. And a lot of people is on that account on PC. I don't have one. My son have a Steam Deck account. I don't have one. I don't play it like that. I have Xbox Game Pass. And yes, I am a PC Xbox gamer. So the thing is, I'm my Xbox guy, Nintendo Switch guy. I'm Nintendo Xbox. I'm not against Sony. Not against PlayStation. I used to be a PlayStation fanatic when I had a PlayStation 2. But Xbox 360 came out before PlayStation 3. Now, if PlayStation 3 had came out before Xbox 360, then I would still be a PlayStation fanatic. But the 360 came out first, and when it showcased the games like Fight Night Round 3, when I seen the graphics of Fight Night Round 3, Gears of War, even Madden 2006, which was a garbage version of Madden, I said it. But when I seen the graphics, and when I saw what Xbox was doing with 360, and I was waiting on PlayStation 3, I was like, PlayStation, where you at? Because I'm about to get the Xbox, because these graphics is like, got me like convulsing, like shaking over here. Then when I saw Fight Night Round 3, holy guacamole and cheese. I'm telling you, Fight Night Round 3 opened my eyes. I said, look at this game. And then when I finally played that game, because my partner, he had a 360 first. He went got his version first, and that's why I learned I taught that rule: don't buy the system day one or week one or month one. Don't do it, because 360 had a ring of death. That orange ring. Those they bought their 360s early had that orange ring, and it happened all the time. Every time we played it, that orange ring came up. System get hot, orange ring. So I learned my lesson going to my partner's house at the time, back in the day, going to his house, playing the 360, and he always had these issues with the 360. He constantly getting keep getting new models and new 360s. I just waited until my time that I bought my own. When I bought my own, then it was on and popping. Now, did mine have the ring of death? Yes, it did. My first one I bought 8 months later or something like that. No. It wasn't 8 months later. It was See, I kind of broke my rule because I was ready just to get the 360, and I got it, and that's why when I broke my rule when I bought my 360 early. I broke my golden rule, my standard rule, not to get the consoles early like that. For 360, I did. 360, I broke my own rule. So when I got the machine, got the console, I had a ring of death, within like 3 months since I bought it. And that was early in the cycle. I said, you know what? And then I bought another one. It lasted for a while. But then when they came out with the 360 Slim, the S, I bought that version, and that version I still have it to this day. Still works to this day. So, I learned my lesson. That's why I went back on my golden rule. Don't do it. Don't go to rule. I got a corner rule. Don't go against standard. Have a standard. So, am I going to pick up a Razer Edge? No, I don't think I am. I don't need another phone/video game system. But for you gamers out there, for the ones that like this type of stuff, handhelds, and I like to play my video games mostly on on the TV. I don't like the handheld market. Now I say I have a Nintendo Switch. I rarely play it, on the handheld, mode, because to me it's not the same. I play certain games on handheld. That's it. I don't do it a lot. Mostly I play my Nintendo Switch is dock mode on my TV. So, and that's how I play it. And if I do travel, I would take my Nintendo Switch. If I'm over a long layaway, from travel from distance to distance, and all of a sudden, besides reading the Bible and stuff like that and praying, if I got time, I would take my Nintendo Switch in handheld mode and and play it. Especially take the Joy-Cons out, play my Zelda. When I had just playing it, when I had Zelda. But the thing is, I used to play in the plane. When I first had it, started the purchase, I got to play in the plane. So I used it and played in the plane, and it was fun. It was fun. But that's it. That's the closest to handheld game playing that I would do. So the Razer Edge Wi-Fi will sell for $400, the Wi-Fi version alone. But if you're a Verizon fan, you want to go to Verizon and get the 5G version, connectivity. You have online gaming everywhere you go. Use your cell phone connectivity. So guess what? That's not a bad idea. And then you got the Verizon one with the $500 and the earbuds. So it might be for you if you're in that type of thing. Me, I'm good because I got Nintendo Switch. I'm waiting for the next iteration of the Nintendo Switch. And what's Nintendo? Because it's tired of me. I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm an Xbox fan. I will play PlayStation. I'm not a PlayStation fan now like I used to be. PlayStation 2 was my joint. PlayStation 2, when it came out, you was hot. You know what I'm saying? It was hot, fire. PlayStation 3 came out too late. Too late for me to stay with the bandwagon and play other Sony brand. I became an Xbox fan at 360. When the original Xbox came out, I had it. I played some games on it. Weren't really impressed with it. It reminded me of a high stake. Let me see. Remember the 3D? This console back in the day. It was called the Panasonic 3DO, something like that. I think it was a 3DO, Panasonic 3DO. That's what the original PlayStation reminded me of. That's what the original PlayStation reminded me of. A high value, high powered Panasonic 3DO. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to get that because, that's what it reminded me of. The games I had at the time. They had some good ones, Jade Empire and all that stuff. And the Peyton Manning football game on the original Xbox wasn't bad at all. But it just, all that graphical power, it still didn't do nothing for me. So I said, no, it's just like a high resolution, high res, version of all the games you get on PlayStation 2. And at the time, Nintendo GameCube was going against those systems. So it was you get the games on Xbox versus the other two. The game's just high res. It's the same game, but high res. So I was like, nah, I'm good. There's nothing spectacular changing, game changer for this. But when I got the 360. 360 came out. 360 changed the game. And so I was like, okay, so now I'm an Xbox fan. So it was all nothing but 360. I put away my PlayStation 2, got on my 360, and even with the GameCube, had to put that away and just start gaming on the Xbox game system. It was, and I'm still now. I'm an Xbox, gamer. Now I'm an Xbox Game Pass gamer on PC. So still with Xbox. Xbox got my attention. Now Nintendo has my attention. So the thing with the Switch, when it came out 6 years ago, you got my attention once again. And I was like, okay, Nintendo, now let me get back in the game. So all these iterations of consoles that came out, just like the Razer Edge, the Steam Deck, all the other handhelds that came out during this year or last year too, didn't get my attention like Nintendo Switch did. So I see you, Razer Edge. I see the product, I see the specs, I see the power behind it, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to evolve over Nintendo Switch. People are trying to compete with Nintendo Switch, but history lessons. Nintendo has ruled the handheld market since the Game Boy. So, and was the flip and watch, the little flip and watch thing. I forgot what they called it. The Game and Watch. There it is. I remember the Game and Watch. The Game and Watch. Since the little Game and Watch, when it had dual screens before the 3DS and the DS, for the dual screen, they had the Game and Watch. You had Donkey Kong, you had all kinds of games, Mario, stuff, all that stuff too. The Game and Watch goes there up to the top screen, goes to the bottom screen. So before the DS came out, before they made the DS like that, they had the Game. Nintendo had the Game and Watch. So they've been on top of the handheld market since then. Nothing has come against it. Even Tiger Electronics. Y'all remember Tiger Electronics? I know y'all do, you gamers. Tiger Electronics, man. Actually, Tiger Electronics was pretty good for where it was. Tiger Electronics was pretty good back in the day too. That's how far I go back. Tiger Electronics as well. We had Tiger Electronics. Everything trying to compete. With the Game & Watch, trying to compete with all these other little Game & Watch systems. Nintendo was ruling then. Then they came up the Game Boy. Sorry, they've been ruling since the Game Boy. So the handheld market since the Game Boy. So nothing can compare and compete. Get what I'm saying? With Nintendo in the handheld market. So nothing can do that. So you leave your comments below. What do you think about the Razer Edge? What do you think about the system when you get it? Is you think it'll be better than the Steam Deck? You think it'll be better than Nintendo Switch? You think it'll be better than the new Nintendo Switch generation come out? You let me know in the comments below, and just holler back at me, because I really think right now that Nintendo has the edge on all these handheld competitors. Everybody wants to be like Nintendo right now, and yes, Nintendo has my stamp of approval for a lot of things right now, because there's nothing going against Nintendo. Nintendo is going to continue to be Nintendo. That makes sense. Nintendo is going to rule the game. And once you rule the game and you're on top of the game and you're selling over 100 and some change, systems, only thing that could ruin Nintendo right now with the new generation of Nintendo Switch is that they don't make the system backwards compatible. They don't tap into their fan base that they have in Nintendo Switch right now. That's the only problem it's going to have with the new moving forward with the new gaming system from Nintendo. Nintendo make the new system backwards compatible. If they make it backwards compatible, y'all, Nintendo, man, ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you, Nintendo is not going nowhere. Nintendo is going to have its crown, is going to keep moving forward and everything, and nobody can stop Nintendo. I don't care what kind of gaming system. Android got a little more power processor than Nintendo Switch right now, but working with Nineveh and what they can do with their chips and sets and stuff, Nintendo's going to be on top for a while. They just need to make their new system backwards compatible. They can compete with the Razer Edge and the Steam Deck. And Nintendo gets smart. They use the cloud system on their new system, backwards compatible. Use something like cell phone connectivity, like the Razer Edge, like Verizon or something like that. You have people online when they go on handheld. But that's a different story. They don't have to go all there. But other than that, man, you give me your thoughts about it in the comments below. Leave comments below. and your comments below, and we'll get back with you. But what do you think? Think the Razer Edge is direct competition to Nintendo, or the Nintendo is Nintendo Switch safe? Just let me know. Leave your comments below. All right, that would do it for us. This has been the bottom line. The bottom line is the Razer Edge looks nice, but Nintendo still can't. That's the bottom line, Razer Edge. That's the bottom line. But I don't know. Somebody give me Razer Edge, I will play it. Just now you know. But all right, guys. You stay safe. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next episode. All right. LJ, the bottom line. Salute. Out. Yeah. The bottom line. Weekdays on LDB TV. Presented by LDB Media Corp.